Hey sneak peekers, I hope you're ready for another great episode.
This week in entertainment news, Amanda Bynes received another DUI and is tweeting through the alias Ashley Parks.
Every woman's dreams were crushed when the most eligible bachelor, Mr. George Clooney, wed the hot lawyer Alma Almudin this week in Venice.
If you feel as though you don't have enough Adam Sandler in your life, you're in luck. The once funny star has signed a 4-movie deal with Netflix. When asked, Sandler said he signed it because Netflix rhymed with wet chicks.
Yikes. Well, stick around, sneak peekers. We'll be right back. Dun, dun, dun,
Hey sneak peekers, do we have an exciting show for you tonight? Gabby, what is with the wedding music?
I'm rehearsing for my multi-million-dollar celebrity wedding.
What? Which celebrity are you marrying?
I don't know. If only there was a way somebody could help me out with a list of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors.
You came to the right place. Here's Olivia and Kim with this list of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors.
Hey sneak peekers, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Kim. Did you hear that George Clooney got married?
And Jeremy Renner, Brad Pitt, and NPH are also off the market too. They all got married to their longtime partners recently. Oh, and Ryan Gosling is also a dad.
I know, what a disappointment. But with that being said, here's our list of Hollywood's eligible bachelors.
Oh, and Andrew, I promise I'm not cheating on you. You're still my number one.
Right.
First on our list is none other than Chris Pine. The Star Trek star stole our hearts back when he played Lord Nicholas Devereaux in The Princess Diaries 2: Royal Engagement. From his piercing baby blue eyes to his signature stubble, Pine screams heartthrob. I mean, is it possible to stifle a swoon every time he's on screen? Although rumors are saying that he might be off the market after being spotted with Zoe Kravitz at a Coldplay concert last month, Pine's bachelor status still stands. He hasn't been officially off the market, ladies. Plus, we'll get to see more of his attractive self back on the big screen when Horrible Bosses 2 comes out this November.
Oh, but don't forget Liam Hemsworth. He's got that whole tall, dark, mysterious look going on, and we can't help but fall for it. The 6'3" Australian hottie is on the market after separating from his longtime girlfriend, Miley Cyrus. We started to crush on him when we first saw him on the last song, but felt truly and deeply in love when he was subtly trying to tell Katniss how he feels about her in the Hunger Games. Even though I'm excited to see the characters he's going to take on after the popular series ends, I am not excited to see a new girl in his arms. Liam, if you ever need a hug, I'm your girl.
Then there's Josh Hutcherson. We've watched him grow up before our eyes over the years with childhood films Kicking and Screaming, Bridge to Terabithia, and Firehouse Dog. How can we forget how adorable he looked back when he played Gabe in Little Manhattan nearly 10 years ago? I mean, it's crazy. While his rise to Hollywood hunk might have been obvious, playing Peeta in the Hunger Games really added that ruggedness to his ever grown-up look. Hutcherson's also had a few girlfriends come and go, but for now he is single, and he's definitely in contention to be one of Hollywood's leading men.
We all fell in love with Zac Efron during our High School Musical era, and if you didn't, you're lying to yourself. Efron reminds me of the stereotypical boy-next-door type of guy that every girl dreams about. Looking at his interviews, he seems like such an outgoing guy that you just want to hang out with him all the time. Not only is he a cool guy to hang out with, apparently, but wow, is he gorgeous! His blue eyes that remind you of the ocean, and his smile that seems truly genuine, and his abs that can probably be used as a cutting board. There's a reason why girls went to go see Neighbors, and it's not for the plot, if you know what I'm saying.
After that is none other than Tim Tebow. The Heisman winner might have encountered roadblocks in resurrecting his NFL career, but part of what makes him so charming is his determination to move forward. Oh, and his faith, that's a huge key to his wholesomeness. As he transitions from the football field to television with gigs at ESPN's SEC Network and Good Morning America, Tebow continues to inspire others to better themselves, and the fact that he's on the market is an added bonus. Sure, he's been linked to Camila Bell, Lolo Jones, and even Taylor Swift, but you know what you're getting thing when you're with Tebow, and we can't help but include him in the conversation.
And last, but definitely not the least, is Leo DiCaprio. He might not have an Oscar, but he has the key to my heart. He is a talented actor that deserves praise for all the amazing characters he has portrayed. Outside of acting, he's an environmentalist. How cute is that? DiCaprio has had many women come and go, but let's be honest with ourselves. He will always be gorgeous, and we will always be in love with him. Plus, he's gorgeous for being 39. I feel like I would get lost in his blue-green eyes.
And that's all we have for you this week. Back to you, Gabby and Chelsea.
You know, I noticed they missed a couple of eligible bachelors on that list.
Who did they miss?
Definitely people from the cast of SNL.
I'm not sure you're defining eligible right.
I mean, I love a funny man.
Good, because coming up next, Chloe has the scoop on SNL's latest season and upcoming anniversary spectacular.
Hey, thanks guys. This past Saturday marked Saturday Night Live's 40th season premiere, ringing in the milestone with several marked changes from last season and hints at what is to come. As far as casting goes, Lorne Michaels, the executive producer for the past 40 years minus a few, overhauled last year's not ready for primetime players, getting rid of Brooks Wheelan, John Milheiser, and UT alum Noel Wells. Tear. In addition to these losses, 5-year veteran Nasim Pedrad left the show to be on former SNL writer John Mulaney's eponymous sitcom premiering on Fox this Sunday. Though not losses per se, Michaels & Co. also moved Mike O'Brien back to the writer's room after being a featured player for a season, and removed Cecily Strong from the Weekend Update desk to, quote, focus more on the sketches. Sure. The latter change was particularly divisive for fans of the show, many of whom felt that the head writer, Colin Jost, was the weaker anchor at the desk. I don't think I need to address the reasons why the head writer of SNL would not want to willingly step down from one of the most prestigious positions on camera, but suffice it to say Weekend Update needed a change, and Strong was the only movable piece. Nonetheless, this allowed for the rehiring of Michael Che, formerly a writer at SNL, who for the past couple years wrote for The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Che is the first Black Weekend Update correspondent, and after a slightly shaky beginning, showed that he will probably be one of the best. The only other new cast member this season is 20-year-old Pete Davidson, who previously appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live and Guy Code. He's the youngest cast member in history. Davidson blew everyone away with his appearance as the show's youth correspondent on Weekend Update this past Saturday, sharing with Michael Che what he would do for $1 million. Go watch the video. There have also been several additions to the writing staff this year, including the return of Mike O'Brien. Allison Rich and Natasha Rothwell from Upright Citizens Brigade, Streeter Seidel from College Humor, and Jeremy Byler from Inside Amy Schumer were hired this summer. Nick Rutherford was also hired and completes the set of the Good Neighbor comedy group, joining SNL featured players Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett, and segment producer Dave McCary. This being the 40th season, SNL has a few special events up its sleeve. On February 15th, 2015, the show will air a 3-hour-long special honoring the series' longevity. If anything like the specials before, former stars and guest stars alike will appear to reprise their roles and commemorate their time on the show. Little else is known about the special, but if it's anything like the annual Christmas one, I know I'll be glued to the couch until the wee hours of the morning. All of the hosts for the 40th season have yet to be announced, but we do know that following Chris Pratt, who hosted last week, Sarah Silverman will take the reins on October 4th, followed by Bill Hader on October 11th. I'm hoping for an appearance from Amy Poehler, who will be finishing up her run on Parks and Rec next year, as well as Leonardo DiCaprio, because if the man can't win an Oscar, he should at least be able to host SNL. That's all the SNL news I have for now. Saturday Night Live airs every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Central. Back to you guys.
SNL has just really been there for me when I'm down. I hope it lasts another 40 years.
Why are you crying? SNL is supposed to be funny, not sad.
These are tears of laughter, okay?
Oh, geez. Looks like we're going to have to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned, amigos.
Welcome back, sneak peekers.
And welcome October. Finally.
What's up with October?
It's when fall really begins. When pumpkins are harvested, Halloween's right around the corner, and the most important of all,
You're not talking about...
pumpkin spice lattes. That stuff is the jam to my peanut butter.
Pumpkin craze aside, there are a bunch of new films coming to silver screens near you. Take it away, Shane.
Guys, award season is finally upon us with October, seeing the release of some major heavy hitters that you can definitely look forward to seeing come Oscar time next year. The first on our list is David Fincher's new film, Gone Girl. Adapted from Gillian Flynn, the Gillian Flynn novel of the same name, Gone Girl tells the story of Nick Dunn, played by Ben Affleck, whose wife, Amy, goes missing on their 5th wedding anniversary. In my opinion, David Fincher has not directed a bad movie in recent years. With big recent hits like The Social Network increasing the natural buzz for Gone Girl, this movie promises twists and turns almost constantly, leaving you to guess who is telling the truth, Nick or Amy, played by Rosamund Pike. Writing about her crumbling marriage and numerous diary entries. The film stars an amazing cast with Carrie Coon, Tyler Perry, and Neil Patrick Harris playing key roles alongside Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross providing the score in their 3rd consecutive Fincher collaboration. This thriller is sure to be something to keep your eye out for. Gone Girl opens October 3rd. Now, there seems to be a distinct lack of numerous horror films this October, with the newest annual Paranormal Activity movie being delayed to 2015. This leaves Annabelle, a weird spin-off of The Conjuring, as the only big horror film on the scene. And while maybe not quite a traditional horror film, I'm here to talk about Dracula Untold. This movie is serving as a sort of reboot of the Universal monster movies of old, telling the untold story of how Count Dracula came to be, starring Luke Evans as the vampire. You may recognize Evans as Bard the Bowman from The Hobbit. This film promises grand battles, lots of sharp teeth, and clearly a ton of bats. My only problem is that this movie is rated a very safe PG-13. I don't know about you, but I feel like if you want to get some really great vampire drama and vampire action, you need to really push for a bit more bloody R rating. We'll just have to see. The film also stars Dominic Cooper, Les Mis' Samantha Barks, and Game of Thrones' Charles Dance, and opens October 10th. Next is an animated film that finally covers a topic I think has been severely overlooked in Hollywood, The Day of the Dead. In the movie The Book of Life, a grand tale is spun of a man named Manolo, who fights for the affections of Maria against her other suitor, Joaquin. The spirits of La Muerte and Xibalba take notice of the conflict and decide to make a wager on who will win Maria's heart. When Manolo is shown to be winning Maria's heart, Xibalba interferes and has Manolo killed in order to win the wager. This leads Manolo on a grand journey through visually spectacular worlds in order to regain his life and be with Maria. This film came out of nowhere this year, in my opinion, and by the trailer alone contains the most spectacular and inventive visuals I've ever seen put to film. And with someone like Guillermo del Toro behind it, this is definitely a colorful film to watch out for. The Book of Life stars Diego Luna, Zoe Saldana, Channing Tatum, and Ron Perlman with a release date of October 17th. Also opening the 17th is Jason Reitman's new ensemble drama, Men, Women, and Children, telling multiple intertwining stories about different people trying to handle their romantic relationships and themselves in this modern age of social media and internet connectivity. This cast is huge, starring Jennifer Garner, Judy Greer, Breaking Bad's Dean Norris, new teen heartthrob Ansel Elgort, Caitlin Dever, Dennis Haysbert, J.K. Simmons, and Adam Sandler. With just a list of names like that, Men, Women, and Children becomes a movie to really pay attention to, especially with Jason Reitman's previous success with Juno and Up in the Air. Finally, we have a big star vehicle for you. St. Vincent will be opening October with the much-beloved Bill Murray in the starring role. A retired veteran, Vincent is a grumpy curmudgeon whose life takes a turn when single mom Maggie, played by Melissa McCarthy, moves in next door with her young son Oliver, played by newcomer Jaden Lieberher. In typical fashion, Vincent starts watching over Oliver while Maggie is stuck working long hours, with the two eventually bonding and helping each other grow up. This really looks like a big, crowd-pleasing, feel-good film, and how can you go wrong with a little bit of Bill Murray? Also, it's become rare form to see Melissa McCarthy in such a restrained role, which I think is quite a plus. St. Vincent also stars Naomi Watts as a Russian stripper and Chris O'Dowd. This movie opens October 24th. Well, that's it for October's heavy-hitting movies. As we get closer to December, the hits will just keep coming, and Sneak Peek will be here to keep you up to date on everything Hollywood. Back to you guys.
Well, that's it, Gabby. We're going to have to go to the movies after the show.
But I mean, some of those aren't even out yet. We'll have to wait a couple weeks to catch them in theaters.
Well, what are we going to do in the meantime?
Luckily, we have interviews with your favorite celebs.
Here's the immortal Keanu Reeves talking about his movie John Wick, which opens October 24th.
Hey Sneak Peekers, I'm Selena DePaz. Today is the third day of Fantastic Fest, and today we're at the Four Seasons Hotel to talk to the cast and crew of John Wick. Let's go see what they had to say.
What advice would you personally have for aspiring young filmmakers?
Don't give up.
Yeah, be creative, be provocative, be ballsy,
be as original as you can. I mean, it's hard to stand out. There's so much media out there now. I mean, I'm sure Basil can speak to it because he's involved in a million projects, and to stand out, you really have to take chances.
But I would say one of the biggest is do it. Don't wait. Well, like when we came up, you know, remember what this is dates us. I had a VHS camera, okay? And Adobe Premiere 1.0 came out on Mac 2CI and like 256. That's it. So you had 4 seconds of video you could edit. You know, now, I mean, you guys can shoot and edit a movie on your iPhone.
I mean, there's
so
no
if you
excuse
want to direct,
to not direct.
Go direct. What do you, like, oh, I'm waiting for my shot, I'm gonna sit. No, go out and direct.
What is something that the audience probably doesn't know about you or your co-stars, whether it be about your process or something behind the scenes?
Oh God, I don't know. It could be so many things. This, I think the fun thing about being an actor is that it's acting. You know what I mean? For me, it's like I'm playing this total bitch when I'm on, you know, when I'm on screen. But like, you know, it's joking with the crew and everything between takes. You know what I mean? For me, it's not staying in that place for long periods of time because I think I'd go crazy, ultimately. And it's fun getting to work with a group of people who are exactly like that.
Once a film hits the screen and you get to hear the audience's reaction, how critical are you of your own work?
Well, I'm pretty critical of my own work before the audience gets there. If I'm in an environment with an audience, then I hope they like it, you know. And it's really, I've had a couple of moments in a screening where when the audience connects to the material and you can feel that or hear that, it shows you that for me, that's part of the wanting to tell the story, you know, because the audience is getting the story and enjoying it, or confronted by it, or questioning it, or anything like that. So, and then the private dialogue sometimes intrudes, like, okay, cool, we got that one. That was okay. All right. So, and also as a performer, you're looking at other people's choices. Right, so you're looking at the editorial decisions, you're seeing if what you hoped for in pre-production got realized, like the suit, did that, you know, you hope that works. You know, I hope that, you know, when if a character has a line that might be funny, and they hope it is, that they laugh, you know. So you kind of, so there's looking out for that, you know, did they get it, do they like it, do they like it, oh, they liked it, okay, cool. And then the private dialogue. I guess it's all private dialogue. Until you see in my own private dialogue. Oh my God, there's the headline. John Wick in his own private dialogue.
Neo is so cool. Like, what a guy.
I know, isn't he so nice?
He took time out of whatever he does saving the world to have an interview with us. I mean, how selfless is that?
You do know that Neo from The Matrix was a character he played. There's no such thing as The Matrix.
That's what they want you to think.
Oh, goodness. Well, while I try to talk some sense into Gabby, stay tuned because we have some great real news coming your way. Hey guys, welcome back.
Have you seen the trailers for that movie that's up next?
Doesn't it have that guy from Game of Thrones in it?
Yeah, Liam Cunningham. He's like being all creepy and mysterious again. I love movies like that.
I am just no good with scary movies.
Well, then you might not want to watch this. Up next, we have Jillian with exclusive interviews from the cast of Let Us Pray.
Hey sneak peekers, I'm Jillian Malone here at Fantastic Fest. We sat down today with the director and main star of Let Us Pray.
For me, Let Us Pray came to me from the producers, and I read the script and I thought, wow, geez, there's a lot going on here. And I wanted to talk with Brian about how he envisioned making the project, and the references he was talking about and the ideas that he had and his sensitivity about the material was just was really exciting, and already felt this collaborative vibe. So I was sold from that point forward. As a woman acting, you look for complex roles, you look for strong characters, you look for something a bit different than what you've done before, and this had all of that for me. So, and Liam Cunningham was also attached, who's a great Irish actor and is known around the world for his work. And I thought, wow, this could be a lot of fun, and it was.
What attracted to me, I suppose, practically was that it had this self-contained story, which I knew would afford me some time on the set to craft a film. Because often with low-budget features and first features, you're kind of just struggling just to get the thing shot, and you can't necessarily ever craft it, and you'll hope it hangs together. And I knew with this, because it was relatively self-contained, there'd be an element of crafting involved, and I could, as a director, have an opportunity to shine. So that's kind of a practical thing. Tonally, what attracted me to it was the religious undertones, which ultimately become overtones, I suppose, which I find fascinating and I think is really lends itself to horror. And then Liam Cunningham's character I found quite mesmerising, and the relationship he forms with Rachel. And they were really the things. And then the story within it is great, but actually, though, those were the things that drew me to it the most. Really, those two characters and how their relationship evolves.
Was there one scene in particular in this movie that like had your heart, your favorite part, or maybe made you want to kind of snuggle under the covers at night?
Watching the film last night, I had the same feeling because I saw it first in Edinburgh, which is where I'm from, at the Edinburgh Film Festival. And I had the same feeling in that moment when... Oh, well, I can't say because it gives it away.
She's thinking the same.
But it's very... There's a release, and I was quite emotional at that point. And I thought, I hope nobody sees that I'm emotional because it's actually me on the screen. It's not about that. It's a testament to his storytelling abilities. As far as shooting is concerned, the fire was pretty cool, when you're doing stunts with fire around you. And it was it felt genuinely dangerous. Like I felt like when a horse shies at the gate, I was being told to go into a small room which is going to be set on fire from the only exit. So then you're going to come out. This is the first fire scene I did. So go into that little box, close the door, we'll set you on fire, and then you run out through the fire, okay? And I was like, and there'll be lots of smoke as well inside before the door opens. And then you're going to fall down the stairs into the street. It's like, okay, we can do this. But it was that physical feeling of, that massive physical fear. So that's just really fun to do because you have a completely new experience. And it was fun learning as well how it all works, because it looks really, really impressive. But of course, it wasn't really any danger, but you sure as hell feel like there is.
Ugh, I really want to see Let Us Pray now. Really? Ew. I feel like we have a really different taste in movies.
That's true, but I always feel like I hate all the movies that everyone else loves.
Speaking of, up next is a segment called Movies I Hate That Everyone Else Loves. Take it away, Maria.
Hey sneak peekers, I'm Maria, and I'm here to talk about movies that I hate that everyone seems to love. Tonight's movie, Disney's recent hit, Frozen. Now, I won't go as far to say that I hate it, but I will tell you why Frozen was in fact not that great. First, the premises established by the viewers that make Frozen unique had already been established by the Disney industry. For example, Frozen is the first Disney movie in which the princess or main girl doesn't wait to be rescued by the prince and instead takes the lead. Should I remind everyone of Mulan? She saved China. She didn't do it for the guy, she didn't do it for herself, she did it to save China and to salvage her father's honor. The fact that she got the guy in the end of the movie was a pure bonus, a kind of little reward from the ancestors. Next one. Frozen is the first movie that questions the marry a guy after only a day of knowing him notion. People, did y'all really forget Enchanted? Almost the entire first half of the movie, Robert is questioning Giselle about her decision to marry a guy she had just met the day before. Questioning the entire notion of marriage after just meeting the man of your dreams is not new here. And my personal favorite. Frozen is the first movie about loving sisters. I'm sorry, but Nani and Lilo were and still are the best pair of sisters in the Disney universe. When their parents died, Nani gave up her hopes and dreams of becoming a pro surfer to take care of her little sister. And not only that, but worked extremely hard to make sure Lilo never lost her innocence or childish imagination, and even took her alien pet because she saw how much they loved each other. That's something we certainly can't say about Elsa, when the same situation happened to her and Anna, minus the alien pet part. Another thing that I feel needs to be addressed is the soundtrack. I will not say anything bad about Let It Go because it is one of the most uplifting Disney songs ever written, but I will say that there are other songs with similar or even better messages. For example, Almost There from Prince and the Frog is, in my opinion, sending a better message for girls because it provides an example of overcoming obstacles in a much better way than Let It Go. I See the Light from Tangled has a much more sincere message about love than Love is an Open Door, and yet it never received half the attention that Love is an Open Door did. Not only are there better messages in other movies, but in Frozen itself, there are songs that are often ignored by the public. Love is an Open Door is seen as one of the most romantic songs in the Disney universe right now, when in reality, there's another song in the same movie that has a much better message about love. Personally, it really irritates me that people overlook Fixer Upper just because it isn't sung by the main characters. Anyways, if it wasn't because everyone's making such an incredibly big deal about Frozen, I probably wouldn't have ended up finding it so irritating. I understand that it's a cute movie, but seriously guys, just like a pumpkin spice latte, it's not that good. And that's today's movies I hate that everyone seems to love. Back to you guys.
And that's our show, folks.
Wait, aren't we supposed to do some like witty banter to remind our viewers of how funny we are?
I mean, what's the point? They know the show's over.
Good point. And as long as we know how funny we are.
Exactly.